Hi everyone, welcome to the Goldfield Tonopah area. So this is one of the richest mining areas in all of the probably United States in Nevada. So two towns called Goldfield and Tonopah, fairly close together. Been abandoned for a long time. Big gold and silver deposits. So we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a show of just all the surface stuff in these two. So there's a huge amount of artifacts, museums, collections that we're going to show you. So if you're interested in mining history, and you can even go underground into the Florence mine, this is the place to go if you really want to see some cool stuff. You'll see more artifacts in this video than you'll see in 7 years of us exploring underground and seeing the odd thing here and there. It's just really a fascinating area. The museums are virtually free to go in there and see all this stuff. This is a huge, this is in Goldfield, and we're flying over just a huge open stope that's half-mile long. You can see that big cut underneath us. It goes down right under the whole town of Tonopah. And like I say, just how fast, if you go to one place to explore mines and want to learn about mines and history and artifacts, this is where you should go. So it's the most fascinating place we've seen. We're not going to take you underground this week. We do have so much stuff above ground we want to show you around the area. And we've actually met up with Mr. M and Randy from Gly's channel, Abandoned and Forgotten Places. And they're going to join us next week. And then we're going to go underground into some mines that Gly wasn't able to get into. Give us the coordinates. And Randy and Mr. M, his name's Scott actually, are going to show us around. And then, so Scott actually owns an RV park right in Goldfields. And he let us stay there. So he was just a great host and had a lot of fun with him. So we'll show you some of the pictures that Sharon took, and we got some really good pictures, and then we'll get into these mines. So this is the big open stope we're on top of. You can see when you're going through the mining. It's called a mining park, actually, in Tonopah that you can wander around. And just a huge amount of stuff. This is the big shaft looking down from one of the head frames. Goes down, I think, about 1,200 feet to the bottom of it. There's actually 4 mines all in this 110-acre park of all these artifacts and stuff, and you can wander around and see all the awesome equipment on displays, big hoists, head frames, everything you ever wanted to know and see about mining in the area. So these towns came from virtually nothing, only a few residents, to like 20,000 people, I think, lived in each of these towns. This is a big steel head frame, was built back in 1903. Like say, lots and lots of drills. All the sheds are in there. Very well preserved because the air is so dry. And there's so many mining camps in the area, and they dragged a lot of the equipment and the buildings and all that into these two towns, so people can see all this stuff before it completely deteriorates. A lot of motor vehicles, cars, trucks, everything you can think of back in the day. Was a very rich area. These head frames are really awesome to see them, all standing. You see a lot of them in Goldfields especially. There's a lot of head frames and bins that are still standing. Even out in the desert, they seem to be surviving very well. This is a mine rescue truck. It's actually pretty interesting to see. It was made for doing stuff in there. So in Goldfields, or in Tonopah, there's 2 museums that you can go. One's $5 and the other one's free. So there's a lot of stuff inside. They got really good rock and mineral specimen, as well as carbide lamps and everything that you can imagine about mining. So we also got some really cool drone footage. Mr. M, he also gave me some good drone footage. And like I say, next week we'll be going underground, but this week we're just going to go for a big tour of the Goldfield and Tonopah area to kind of acquaint you guys about what's all there. In Goldfields in particular, we went into lots of mines in Goldfield. You could spend probably, a year there going into mines. You're just mines everywhere. It's a fantastic place to explore.
Most of it's probably mental. You don't like dark places that are wet and you're claustrophobic. You have a bunch of phobias and stuff. It's not going to be the place for you.
Okay, so this is Tonopah, and the mines are really actually right underneath the whole town. So this big mining park they have is 110 acres, 4 mines on it, and all the mines actually go underneath the whole town. So it's pretty interesting place just to drive around, see a lot of the historic stuff. Actually, Goldfield's even more so. Like Goldfield's is kind of a poorer area, and everyone's got mining stuff in their yard. You can just wander around and see cool stuff everywhere. So this is the Silver Queen, I believe. So it was about 1,200-foot shaft going down in the mining part that goes. And it looks like they're building a brand new rail trestle or something there. So it's just all brand new. It's not finished yet. So be interesting to see what they do with that in the future. The hoist house and stuff, we weren't able to get into it when we were there. This is the Mitzpah shaft, also in the mining park. And that one's completely open. You'll see some video of inside there. The old flat belt hoist in there. And this was, like I say, a steel head frame built in 1903, which was the first steel head frame built in the area. And it looks like it was just built yesterday. This is the other head frame on the property. Don't remember. This is called the Desert Queen. So it's a little bit more dilapidated. You're not really actually supposed to go in there. There's a little fence around there, but we snuck in there and show you guys what's in there anyhow. So that one's a pretty awesome one too. And right up against that hill, there was another mine up on the other side of the hill, but we didn't have time to go into there. We didn't explore a lot of mines in around Tonopah. It's Goldfield where we mostly explored mines.
Oh, you scared me. Oh my God.
They're not real. What a collection of... Oh, there's a nice tunnel car. Oh, a nice tunnel car here. Yeah. Lots of stuff on display here.
You're going pretty fast.
Just look at all the stuff they got here. Yeah, unbelievable. It's like a scrapyard for old cars here. $20,000 people lived here at one time. There's more mines than people, I think, now. All right, so we're going into the Rambler mine here. So John's going to show it.
Number 2.
It's Rambler number 2. Rustler.
Rustler number 2.
The Rustler number 2.
Back around, I think it was around 1987, a bolt of lightning hit that during a storm, and it caught on fire. See where it's... Come on in. It's warmer in here.
Oh yeah, no wind either. So we're here with John Aldrich, and he owns this Rambler mine and the Florence mine.
Rustler.
Rustler number 2.
The Rustler. So he's Jeff Williams actually told us to come and pay him a visit, and they got all kinds of really cool stuff here. And John has a huge amount of antiques and an appreciation for preserving mining stuff in here in Goldfield. So he's going to show us some of the stuff that he has here. Compressor here.
Go in there, you go.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing will bite you, I don't think. Anyway. You never know.
Oh, it's an electric compressor.
Yeah, everything was electric here.
Yeah. Westinghouse.
You know, 1904,
motor there.
we had power here, so we had this type of power twisted. This was a double drum hoist, and then they changed it to a single. See these studs that were broke off here?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's how big the hoist was. It was a double drum, almost like the size of the Florence you're gonna see.
Oh, okay.
But then for some reason they took that out and they put the single in. Because that head frame is the original, it still has the double sheave. You know, 2 wheels. Before it gets dark, I'll take my car and you can follow me and I'll show you where that shaft is.
Sure.
And then you can go up yourself.
Yeah, that'd be
But
cool.
at least you'll know it's there. You could do that tomorrow.
So this is where the hoist operator sat here, and he's got the view of the hoist up there. I don't know where the scale was. How would they know what level they were at?
That was here, it was taken.
Oh, somebody
There's
took it
the
off of there.
platform right there.
Yeah. It would have had the scale. These timbers are 16 by 16, and there's a splice in the middle of them there. How many tons of ore can that bin hold? They usually rate them, so many tons, eh?
I don't know
Yeah,
what that
don't
would
know. Yeah. I can't tell by looking at them. There's the agitators, I guess. Yeah. Flotation cells, agitators. So this mill was built back in the 30s, you were saying, John? 1947.
1951.
Yeah, so this is a mill that was made actually to grind up quartz and stuff that had gold in it. Most of the gold wasn't like that here, but there's the ball mill.
When that mill burned in 1911, they never rebuilt.
Yeah.
So when new mining company came in, they built this mill.
Well, look at that big boiler down there.
And the line drives are still in.
Oh yeah. We've seen them in lots of places. Yeah.
It's because it has the rollers for the timber. They use to bring it from the outside there.
Okay.
Bring it in.
I wonder if they use this to make the square set, you know?
Yeah, they
And they put the notches in for the timbers and stuff,
yeah, it's
eh?
big enough to.
Yeah, maybe.
And here's
Oh, look at the awesome cyanide drums you got here.
same.
They're galvanized cyanide drums, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's all
I guess
inert.
the cyanide rusts the metal ones too fast.
Oh yeah.
This reminds me.
See,
of
this is not enhanced. This is what you see is what you get for 1906.
It reminds me of the dredges that we were in.
In the Yukon, yeah.
In the Yukon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much.
kind of same.
Yeah, the dredges, they almost seem like a ship,
Yeah.
you know? There we go.
Yeah, look at all the.
That's a double drum oldest hoist.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's OSHA approved, so I can use that.
You think so?
Huh? That's a common sense animal.
How many, this is a Westinghouse?
Yeah, that's a-
Pretty much all of them are, yeah.
That's 100 horse.
400 volts.
Yeah, at 141 amps, I think. So that took a lot of draw. What happened?
My battery just died.
The battery, you know, a lot of people come in here and their batteries go dead because of paranormal activity. Yep, that's what I
I
hear.
left my other battery at the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, show them that blueprint of that skip. That's kind of a neat skip.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat looking old hoist house. That's old giant powder company. We haven't seen it. So John says that's from around 1910.
Yeah, July. See, they even had it right down to the day.
Yeah. That's
July
ridiculous,
30th,
though, yeah.
1910.
But there's no date on the giant powder company, which
No, but they were found, I think, in the same mine as I can remember. So
Yeah.
it's probably dated around 1910 to 1912.
we've got a forge and a blower too. But
Yeah.
Similar to
Here's
this
the
one.
original one there. There's the bellows.
oh yeah,
And
yeah.
they went to this. This is kind of neat because this is never even used, but the bearings are so great on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at the
Yeah,
bearings on that thing. How big that is.
it's going here.
That's a big anvil,
Yeah, it
huh?
moves in there, and then it goes right here, see here? So you put your cold right here, and it just blows that air through there. You know what this is, don't you?
Hi there, young fella. Can we have a look at some burrows? Get out of my picture. You're photo bombing me here.
Well, it's colder up there too. We're warmer
But
down
even
here.
those don't look as fuzzy as this guy.
Yeah.
So these are Kim's burrows that she wants to use up a Goldfield to take people for little tours. They can carry your lunch for you. How's that sound? How's it going there, young fella? Ready to go to work? How about your buddies? You want to go to work? Ready to go to work? Come from a long family of miners. This is called the Stout Bridge, and it's a huge. That's pretty cool, actually. Wish you had a big light in there. Pretty cool to see that. It looks like it'd be a fun place to rope down. Still ladders and everything in there. Looking both ways. Lots of pigeons in there now, that's about it. This is a kind of a neat type of a hoist. It's called a whim. So a horse or a mule or something would be strapped onto that, and it would run that winch. So I don't know if it works or not, but see. Nope. She's seized up, but the horse just goes around in a circle, and then it winds that winch up, and then they got a shaft going down. So that's one of the oldest simplest types of winches there is around. Yeah, Tonopah has probably got more types of more equipment, more mining stuff, displays, equipment, shafts. This whole area between Tonopah and Gold what? There we go. So you want to have a look down this shaft here. Yeah, it's too bad we didn't bring a light, but we never did. So, wow. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Have a look down there. I don't know how far down that goes, but a ways. Be a good place to rope from. Yeah. Then you can see that shaft looking that way. Yeah, similar to a lot of stuff that we've seen underground, you know. Some of the different mines we've been in, but it's a nice, safe place for people to come and visit this stuff. Don't have to worry about anything falling on your head. Yeah, there's more mining stuff between, you know, Goldfield and Tonopah than just about any place you're ever going to go. So if you're interested in checking out mines and stuff in a safe way, seeing all this history is pretty cool. A little different the way they done these. Normally they don't notch them in. Takes a little bit of the strength away, but yeah, we got 6x6. Pretty cool slope down there, Sharon. They use 6x6, which is kind of light for mine timbers. Usually they're 8x8s. Look at, they seem to have sagged even a little bit because they went with the smaller timbers. So this shaft here, this mine is called the Mitzpah, and here's a shot of the stuff on here. And you'd think it was a newer head frame because it's steel, but it isn't actually. It was made in 1903. It's a pretty old head frame. It was one of the first steel head frames ever built. And the cool thing about this is there's a whole bunch of other mines it's connected to. So you can see in the background there, that's the Desert Queen. And then there's another mine called the Belmont that actually, apparently you can just go right over to it. And they're all connected underground, so theoretically if a guy roped into the Belmont, you could be right underneath this shaft. I don't know if we're going to try that or not, but we'll see. So this is the hoist house of the Mitzpah. And oh yeah, so we can see big air compressors here. And there's the winch set up for the hoist. Yeah. There's another air compressor there, big compressor. It says 1903. Now there was another, you notice this cable, it's a little bit unusual for a hoist. It's a flat cable. We've seen that before, and it was made by Haldy, which is was an old tram guy, one of the first guys that invented trams. And yeah, it's just woven steel cable. And there was another big hoist house that we visited south of Salt Lake City. I can't remember the name of the town, but they had that there too. Rail stats, I think, or something. What it is they're not using all the power. I think the power goes to that, and then so it doesn't burn stuff out, and it heats them coils up, and that's where the excess power goes. It's not all being used. I believe that's how those work. And this regulates the amount of power, so that you would speed of the hoist controller for it. Oh, clicks really nice. Forward, reverse, I guess. And there should be a big dial. There it is right there. Tells you how far down you are. So you can go down to, this goes down to the 500 level. And these are the brakes that you'd use to slow it down. If you were going down with the weight and you wanted to slow it down, to stop it. This is how they called they use a series of bells to call the hoist up to a certain station. So just have, so they'd have to say, if they want to go to the third level, let them know the code, but they would go, this is an old style jig, and what it used like gravity to separate ore. That's one way they concentrated ore to try to ship just the best ore to the mills, or to the smelter, I mean. So they didn't have a mill that would just use the gravity, like a little flotation jig like that, to separate the lighter stuff from the heavier mineralized type stuff. So here we got a whole bunch of drill steels up against the wall of that shack. Some motors and stuff. There's lots of buildings and stuff. We'll show you what we can see inside these buildings. Oh, I guess you're not getting into this one. There's locks on them. Carpenter shop. One thing's amazing about this area, it's so dry and the stuff is so well preserved. Oh yeah. Drill steel, there's a scale. Oh, look at that awesome bench. Huh. Pretty heavy. Seen lots of use over the years. Oh yeah, there's a Pelton wheel. Gas jugs. That's electric insulators for the... I've never seen one like that before, but that's for the trains, electric trains, the high voltage line. There's a Pelton wheel. We'd like to find one of these clamps to put one of our drills on. I haven't seen one. Yeah. You can change the angle on that, just loosen it off, change the angle. All right, this is the Desert Queen, the hoist house of the Desert Queen. They got a fence, so I guess we're not really supposed to hop over that fence. Well, mind you, we could walk around it. Pretty neat looking setup there. Got the air compressor there, the tank, and the ore. There's an ore bin there. Let's have a closer look. 1,100 feet deep. Doesn't look that dangerous to us, but look at the size of those timbers. Pretty substantial. Man, what kind of a mill would have cut that? That's like one timber. It'd be like 16 by 16 and about 30, 40 feet long. That's quite something. I'm kind of thinking we should go in there anyways, huh? Not supposed to. There's the ore chute gates. Neat. See, for trucks and stuff, they could lower and raise that to get to the right height that you wanted, and then just that big wheel just opened and slid that gate up and down like a guillotine. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to help ourselves here. I'm going to have a quick look at this hoist house here. I don't think anyone will throw us in jail if we walk around the edge of the fence here. Let's have a quick look. Yeah. There we go. This is flat belt too on this one. Man, pretty cool. Wouldn't that be a neat job running one of these, eh? A few more rats in this one. Yeah. Westinghouse Electric. Yep. Pretty similar to the other one. Neat how this stuff is so well preserved here. So we're pretty sure that Gly ripped off his idea from the schnozzulator from this guy right here. Got like a little bird cage there, and you know, the power wagon, and away you go. You just go up and down. The lazy man's exploring setup, right? It's got 2 winches, one to adjust the angle of the. That's pretty neat. Angle of that boom there, and then the main winch to let you up and down. Maybe this is part of an old mine rescue deal or something. I don't know what the deal was with that. Huh. Oh yeah, search and rescue. Sure enough. Huh. Well, it's a hand crank. Somebody had to crank that up and down. Look at all the different mining lamps I got in here. Pretty good collection of them. I don't think I've ever seen that many mining lamps all in one place. Those are the foreman's lamps.
Carbide cans. I need one.
Yeah, it's a cool mucker there, but kind of a really old one, I think. Runs back and forth on gears. Probably one of the first muckers ever made. Kind of works with the flotation tanks.
It says Atkins classified built by
Classifier.
Colorado Works Company.
From the War Eagle. Yeah. Nothing very complicated about that, is there? It's a big cam that just hammers it up and down. There's a piece of Alice Chalmers equipment. They were the most common manufacturer of mining equipment back in the 1900s. And this is a ball mill here. There are actually 4 separate mines that are part of this park. 110-acre park. Well, look at this other one here. So it looks like they're rebuilding all this. You see shiny sawn planks here. There's a head frame. This is the Silver Top mine. Some of those pictures that we saw inside are from the haul levels inside this mine, but I'd imagine we're going to get underground, but we'll show you the head frame and what we can see here. This is the other mining museum they have in Tonopah. You can see, if you see the head frame in the distance, those head frames, that's from the mining park. This is the actual museum, so got a lot of cool stuff here. Lots of cool stuff outside. So starting off here is we got a really neat stamp mill here. So this one had 10 stamps, so pretty fair size mill, or stamp mill, and the little parts for it. This is a really cool hoist cage here, so they could actually put 2 cars in each one, a double. So they just roll the carts on and off of there, and then the miners sometimes rode in them also, but they're basically for ore. And we've got some hoists here, and a whole row of miner shacks. We're not going to go through all that. I've walked through them. They're actual original shacks that came from various mines in the area, and they dragged them down here, but they're locked up and you can't get into them. All right, this rock here, I bet you anything it was used for rock drilling contests. It's got so many holes in it. Especially on this side. It was probably, they had contests for the miners. Almost certainly. The hand drilling, right? So the single jack and the double jack, the sledgehammer. There's another really interesting mining museum in Tonopah. It's got all kinds of cool artifacts and stuff in it too. It's well worth having a look. And this one's actually free. It doesn't cost anything. So the one's like $5 and this one's free. So pretty good value for. Well, those are the bellows used for the forges. Ah. This is Tonopah's maybe a little fancier place than Goldfield is. Dishwasher, post office. So these shacks are kind of interesting. All these shacks here are actually came from mines, and they relocated them all here. The original buildings from mines in the area. There was a lot of mines in this area. There's a fire hydrant. And yeah, all these little buildings, you can't go in them, but they got stuff in them. Here's a cool little hoist there. Old truck. Got a driving shed here. Yeah, here's the main street at the museum. It's kind of cool to see all these old shacks that all came from mines in one spot or another. They dragged them all here. Got a steam-powered hoist here, so it's pretty old. One of the older ones. And not very big either, so probably only maybe go down 200-300 feet. Huh. Alright, so just give you guys a little bit of an idea of some of the stuff you can see if you ever come to the Goldfields and the Tonopah area. Lots of cool historic stuff, mines galore. There's even a mine you can go in called the Florence mine that we're probably not going to go into. It's been fairly well documented, but they will take you tours inside that mine. And lots of stuff to see and do here in Tonopah. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us this week. We have a show every week, so we'll see you next week. Check out our new merch page. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Music is by the Adits.